if you are sleeping for 8 hours, out of those 8 hours, 2 hours to 2.5 hours are deep sleep.
Yeah.
You are disease free.
सवेरे आते ही उनका कुछ शुरू हो जाता था कि 9 बजे 9:30 बजे आएंगे, फोन उठाएंगे, 4 लोगों पे चीखेंगे एंड फिर ही उसके बाद गुड मॉर्निंग होगी उनकी.
Sleep is a combination of REM, which is called the dream sleep, and non-REM is defined in stage 1 to 3.
Okay.
Light sleep, deepest sleep, right?
I'm a teetotaler. So a lot of people ask me why don't you drink? मैंने कहा जब खुशी उसके बिना I'm in that happy state, why do I need to drink?
So if someone dies, what do we call? What do you say if someone dies?
My co-founder calls it निपट गया. But
A better word of that is इनके प्राण निकल गए.
yes.
Okay, that's a
प्राण
popular word in
बुखार.
Hindi.
Hi everyone, welcome to Life Uncovered with Vaibhav. We have Mr. Amol Maheshwari with us. He's the founder of
Happiness Gurukul.
Happiness Gurukul. He's the founder of Happiness Gurukul. That's a very interesting new venture, but I have known him for now close to a decade. We actually crossed our paths many times, but he was part of senior leadership team at Bajaj Life then, and I was with Sibyl. And since then, kahin na kahin, we met a few times, and then he was at the CXO level at Medibuddy and at Early Salary, which is now known as Five. Welcome to our podcast and welcome to Jodhpur.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Lovely to meet you. I couldn't, imagine that we will meet after what, 8-9 long years
8-9 long years and in Jodhpur.
in Jodhpur.
Thanks to the Maheshwari Samaj that's doing the global
Yes.
conclave. So, first of all, we'll get into your life, but because you're here, any interesting experience that you saw, winter or any other thing from Jodhpur that you take away back?
So coming from Mumbai, it's a large city. You don't see such empty roads. You don't see hospitality of people. So amazing experience when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah.
And I'll just share with you that when I landed here, I came from Jaipur.
Yeah.
And the kind of hospitality that you get from the auto guys or the taxi guys is amazing. The kind of that affection, that where are you from, and people will try to help you. An interesting instance yesterday, I was waiting for a cab, and 3 people volunteered to drop me at my hotel. You don't see this in metro, so this is like never seen. And from that perspective, Jodhpur stands for the epitome of hospitality from Rajasthan.
Absolutely. In fact, now that you've said, a lot of people don't know that Rajasthan is predominantly 3 portions, if I may say: Jaipur, Jodhpur, which is Marwar, and Udaipur, which is Mewar. And all 3 are very different. People sitting in Bombay or any other Bangalore think Rajasthan is the same, but all 3 are very different. And this hospitality which you're talking about in Jodhpur, it's known as Manohar, and that we very proudly say is the highest or the best in Jodhpur when it comes to other cities. Jaipur has now become pretty much like a mini Delhi.
Yes.
Traffic and people running around and no one having time. Udaipur is now largely mini Gujarat with the proximity to the border. Most of the people speaking in Gujarati, businesses targeting towards Gujarati clientele. Jodhpur has still remained as far as possible.
The heart of Rajasthan.
The heart of Rajasthan. So you still will find a lot of Rajasthan inside Jodhpur or that Marwar Fala feeling in Jodhpur. Other cities are losing it. In fact, when I shifted back to Jodhpur after 20 years, although Jodhpur has expanded, but the old Jodhpur, when I say old, is the Jodhpur I remember of 2000 when I left the city, is still the same.
Wow.
Still the same roads, still the same circles, still the same signals. Lack of flyovers, if I may say, but still the same roads. Traffic has increased slightly, but like you rightly said, traffic nahi hai. And when my team also comes, they also say the same thing. So Tejas, who's my CTO, when he came to Jodhpur for the first time, his first observation was that ki roads bahut badi hain.
Correct.
I said roads badi bhi hain and traffic bhi nahi hai. So you feel it even more. And the city is hardly 5 to 7 minutes. You can cover the entire thing. Other observation is having spent a lot of time in Bombay, जितना टाइम मेरे को लिफ्ट लेके फ्लैट से अपनी कार पार्किंग तक पहुंचने में लगता था उतना टाइम में जोधपुर कवर कर लेता हूँ. So that's the thing. But thank you for coming. So you did your MBA from SCMHRD. You built your entire career in insurance, and then you had your early stage startup journeys, and maybe mid-stage के startups थे, but startup journeys, stressful life.
Yes.
Amongst the insurance journey, and we'll stick to insurance someday, any stressful incidences or things that made you lose your sleep?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, when I broke from my, corporate career, and that's where I call myself as an accidental entrepreneur, because it so happened that I was not able to continue after some time. And this, when I evaluated my journey, it started somewhere, not exactly even from my first job, but I actually realized that I've been an overthinker since my childhood. And, I kept on overthinking, whether it was all about exams, or it was all about getting a job, doing MBA from a decent institution. And then when I landed up into my first job, which was incidentally HDFC Life, that's where my insurance career started. I mean, that every stage that I crossed in life, I was actually becoming slightly a higher overthinker, always worried about something. If it was school, worried about grades. It was college, worried about the job. It was the job, worried about targets. And always there was an attempt to perform better. How would people look at me? I need to really perform the best. So that kept on happening, and that was a lot of self-induced stress. And I had always kept very high benchmarks for myself, that if this is coming out of, let's say, my desk, especially when it comes to work, it's got to be high quality. And since we work together, you would
I remember
imagine
this,
that what kind of work we've done in the insurance space. So we've always emphasized on quality. We build very high expectations, and that itself puts a lot of stress. And I'll talk more about stress, when you allow me to talk about stress.
No, stress is always allowed, because if you don't, then stress builds up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from there, jump into Medibuddy. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Medibuddy.
And you were there at the peak of COVID. So some things that you would remember, stressful occasions, or
So, stress. So that's what I was, and I just want to give a perspective to stress. So whenever we take stress, what is stress? Stress is nothing but an emotion.
yeah,
Okay, so whenever you feel uneasiness, that's called stress. Okay, and if you look at in all our careers, if we have been feeling uneasy about something, or we have not been happy, or we have been irritated because the outcome is not coming to us, or we've been angry, in every situation we release a hormone which is known as stress hormone. Okay, and this stress hormone is nothing but cortisol. Okay, now as you keep on releasing cortisol and you become stressful, at some point of time your body starts getting used to cortisol, because whatever your body feeds, you feed to your body.
Correct.
The body craves more. If you feed sweets to the body,
yeah,
the body will always crave for that feeling of sweet. Okay, so you'll end up every day having a sweet. If you feed smoking or alcohol, then your body will ask for the same, and you'll become an alcoholic. So a lot of us who madly chase numbers, who are always hyper, who always want to achieve targets, we keep on putting in more and more cortisol. And one fine day, the body gets so used to cortisol that the body will always crave for it. And that's where will the body crave from? It will ask your mind to release cortisol, right? And this mind is then always on a lookout of, getting more and more stress. And this journey started, when I started my career in the insurance space, kept on taking stress, and as a result of which, one fine day, I actually became a very, very stressed guy. And that's where, incidentally, in COVID, I just thought that whether I've been into the insurance space for so long, it's time to do something different. And maybe, I was looking at inviting more stress. So that's where this Medibuddy thing happened. And look, Medibuddy is a healthcare company. At that point of time, in 2020, it started, working on consumer health. Okay.
correct.
And that's where, peak COVID, the first wave, I got into the company. And that's where, we started selling health checks. We started selling doctor consultations, COVID test and all. And, everywhere there was so much of demand. But we weren't able to fill the demand very well, because a lot of things were breaking. We had, a lot of high pressure of demand. Supply was limited. And overnight, we have to actually change the engine of the aircraft while you're flying, right? So very stressful times, but very exciting as well. I got to know a healthcare business which is completely different from insurance business. And that's where, I again, rose to the higher levels of, taking stressful decisions, helping as many people as possible, helping corporates. Corporates were a very large, customer base, and a lot of companies demanded, the best of healthcare for their employees. So we had to actually be there at the right time with every corporate, and a lot of stressful work at those days.
We've gone from insurance to Medivedi. I would love to talk about your early salary days also, but you touched upon something which I had not thought of, but it's come about cortisol.
Yeah.
And on my Insta reels and feeds, and I'm sure for everyone else also, there are a lot of discussions around cortisol and stress and things like that. Very difficult for a person like me, or maybe a layman, to understand all that. So you've done a course from Harvard Medical School. हमारे जैसे को business ही पहले आता है, but yeah, Harvard Medical School. I think nothing better than that from a medical profession in the world. So if you have to explain to a layman, we are looking at two set of personalities, you and me, and no two individuals are the same. So I'm sure you may be, and let's assume for a second there are a lot of maybes. You may be someone who takes more stress, and I may be someone who takes less stress. And if it's, let's say, someone who's doing a normal medical checkup, it's very easy to say iska hemoglobin itna hai and RBC itna hai, white blood cells itna hai and everything. Cortisol, one, I want to ask, how do you measure? Is there any position of measurability? Two, is the fact that how can one, because I have been told by a lot of people that you don't take stress. How can you stay so cool? That's their observation. And at the same time, and I was talking to someone day before yesterday on the same thing, that हर जने को दुनिया अपने हिसाब से दिखती है. कोई चीज़ को जैसे कप नीचे गिर जाएगा, somebody may become very stressed कि क्यों गिर गया, and someone like me who's not be bothered at all. अब तनिषा is here, उनका ये स्टूडियो है, वो एकदम हो सकता है भड़क जाए कि मेरा स्टूडियो क्यों गंदा किया, और मेरे को ना फर्क पड़े, तो I can still understand it's her property, but हो सकता है हम दोनों का property हो. So my question twofold: one, how do you measure? That's one. Two is, how can one understand and relate to the other person? Because मेरे को आज तक नहीं समझ में आया कि लोग stress क्यों लेते हैं.
Correct. I'll answer both.
To those things.
So first is cortisol can be measured. Correct. It's basically measured through a blood test. But at any point of time, you may not be able to, take an inference that if your cortisol levels are higher in the blood, okay, are you a very high stress-taking person or not? For example, someone who is a very hyper aroused person or hyper in stress may not have very high levels of cortisol in the body. Which comes to the second part. So cortisol can be measured. You may have high cortisol in the blood, you may not. But it doesn't mean that you are not a stressful person if you have less amount of cortisol.
Okay.
And that makes me come to the second, answer. The second answer is, which is a meaningful one. We basically call us as a body. Okay?
Yes.
But imagine for a moment that this is not just a body. You have two people. Okay. There's a mind and there's a body. So there's a cutoff here.
Yeah.
Mind is what thinks, and body is what feels.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever you have been thinking, this second also you're thinking when you're talking to me, right?
Correct.
Okay. If I'm saying something good, you are feeling good. Okay. So when I'm saying something, you are thinking that, oh, Amol is saying this, and if that's well intended and you like it, you will feel good. So every second, whatever we do in life, we are thinking and feeling. And if you're thinking and feeling, and it's giving us some good feeling, calming feeling, happy feeling, it's nothing but it's generating happy hormones. Okay.
Which is not cortisol.
Which is not cortisol. So happy hormones are, there it's as simple as a word dose.
Yeah.
DOSE, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. And there are many other, chemicals like anandamide, melatonin, which help you in sleep, staying calm, staying blissful. But the category of happy hormones is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins.
Okay.
At one time, your body can either release happy hormones or it can release stress hormones.
Stress is cortisol.
Stress is cortisol, absolutely. Now let's talk about Vaibhav. If Vaibhav is not a stressful person, or if any situation happens and Vaibhav is a very cool guy, he says ki chalo yaar jaane do, jo hua dekhi jayegi, let's move on. So which means the body of Vaibhav is not craving, even if a bad situation happens, Vaibhav's body is not craving for cortisol. Vaibhav's body is being a happy hormones chemistry. Okay, so always if your body is being a happy hormones chemistry, what I told you, that if the body is feeling always happy, it will always crave for happy hormones. And your mind cannot release happy hormones unless it's always calm. Okay? So to release happy hormones, the mind has to be calm, it has to be very positive, it will always attribute some positivity of any situation. Versus if your body loves cortisol, the body will keep on craving for stress hormone and the mind will be on an outlook. यार अभी गुस्सा हो जाऊं, अभी stress ले लूं. So when you're talking about Vaibhav versus other people, or two kinds of personality, people who take more stress and people who are very calm, jolly in life, it's all about their mind-body chemistry. Simply put, alert body is known as cortisol body. It will keep your mind always alert, always overthinking. Calm body, happy hormones chemistry, it will always give, a push for a calmer mind. This is a science.
Very interesting. I've got 2-3 thoughts on this. And like you rightly said, even when you're speaking, दिमाग चलता जा रहा था कि क्या है इधर ये है वो relate कर रहा है. And I was looking at some examples. Cortisol वाले, and I was trying to remember a few of my bosses. Happy bosses and not so happy bosses, or maybe alert bosses, like you have said. There is a gentleman called Mr. Suresh Badami, you would know him. I think he was one of those very relaxed bosses. Although he was the Deputy MD of HDFC Life, he was the head of sales, distribution, multiple roles he would do. But I never saw him stressed out.
Yeah. And you would have never seen him angry.
I never saw him angry or hyper. A lot of my bosses, I've never seen them angry or hyper. Mr. Satish Pillai, in fact, he was here. He shot a podcast for us where he interviewed me. It was a reverse kind of a thing. So, for example, I've never seen him kind of a thing. So, when I was just trying to remember those, and then there are people who are my seniors, but I'm not calling them bosses, but seniors because do vertical, but I've seen them super agitated and things, and I would end up seeing कि वो सवेरे आते ही उनका कुछ शुरू हो जाता था कि 9 बजे 9:30 बजे आएंगे, फ़ोन उठाएंगे, 4 लोगों पे चीखेंगे, एंड फिर ही उसके बाद गुड मॉर्निंग होगी उनकी. सो यस, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. एंड द अदर थिंग विच केम टू माई माइंड, and I share this, but now that I have dose wala example which you have given, I love that. I'll use that. I'm a teetotaler. So a lot of people ask me, why don't you drink? मैंने कहा जब खुशी उसके बिना I'm in that happy state, why do I need to drink? A lot of people don't believe in the parties that I don't drink because I'm in a happy state even when I enter. So I think, and here I'll just add one thing from my life story. I somehow feel what's come to me is thanks to my sports and cricket and a lot of other things that I played as a child, because what sports taught me, and which I always look at my team also when I want to hire or build a team, कि sports खेला है या कुछ ऐसा performing art किया है, कुछ किया है जहाँ पे you fail regularly. You may be a great sportsman और हर दिन अगर 4 क्रिकेट मैच खेलोगे बचपन में, 2 हारोगे 2 जीतोगे, या 3 हारोगे 1 जीतोगे, whatever the thing. Every day is a new day, every match is a new match. And when you continuously are ready to lose and bounce back, do you think that plays? Because I'm thinking that also plays a long role.
No, 100%. So there is this word called surrender.
Okay.
Or acceptance.
Okay.
So surrender is taken in the bad connotation, but I'll still say surrender.
Yeah.
So when you learn the art to surrender, then you're not attached to the outcome, winning or losing.
Yeah.
You just surrender to the situation and you say, if I win, amazing. If I don't win, I will learn. Or I would have learned a way, how, can you perform better, right?
Yeah.
So when you start, staying in that surrender,
yeah,
and you accept any of the outcome, you start creating a happy chemistry. Because whatever be the outcome, you will still feel happy.
Right.
Okay, you'll be content. Okay. On the contrary, many people in this world, you will see, they keep on chasing things. They will basically, like for example, in the corporate world, we chase one target, the bosses are never happy. We'll chase another target. Again, people want to chase the third target, right? So every time you keep chasing is always, which will always not make you appreciate what you got, right?
Correct.
So in your situation, whatever you got, you always appreciate that. Whether I'll win, that's also appreciated. What if I would have lost, that's also appreciated. And you are taking it like an experience.
Yeah.
Journey is the reward for you, not the milestone, right?
That's a very important thing. Actually, journey is the reward. Kishore Kumar Gulzar R.D. Burman song, एक राह रुक गई तो और जुड़ गई, मैं मुड़ा तो साथ साथ राह मुड़ गई. Sorry, एक something दरवाजा बंद हुआ है जो है, मुसाफिर हूँ यारों. So I think those kind of stories are super important to make sure that you let go our deal, if you remember when we were at Civil and Bajaj, we spent close to a year working on it, if you remember. We met each other in our offices, our respective offices, at least 5-6 times. People who were my global business heads also flew in, but didn't go through. But I think it was a great learning because a lot of learnings that we did then are being used in Inca today. I was talking in the morning today. Yeah. So I think if you can enjoy the journey, don't focus on your, like you, I'm just rewording what you said, journey, and don't focus on so much on the goal or the destination. आप यहाँ नहीं कहीं और पहुँचोगे कहीं तो पहुँचोगे.
Correct.
So if you enjoy the journey, that's more important.
I'll just add to it because this could be a good context.
Yeah.
So as I told you, mind and body.
Yeah.
Right. So thinking happens from your mind, feeling happens through your body.
Right.
And we think and feel at the same time.
Right.
Imagine that let's take a radio example.
Right.
You've operated radio.
Yes.
So there are, let's say, 2 radio stations. 91.1 is Radio City. 92.7 is
Big.
Big FM. Will you ever get Big FM at 91.1?
I think across the city, across the country, they are
Never.
92.7.
It is same frequency.
Everywhere.
So our human body, I mean, if you go into physics, we are matter. Every matter vibrates. Matter has energy. Energy vibrates. And every vibration can be measured in terms of frequency.
Okay.
Okay. So human body has a frequency. And this frequency is determined by what do you think and feel. So if you think stress and feel stress, your frequency is a stress frequency. And it's called low energy. You are stuck in low energy. And when you are in low energy, you are just like that FM. So when you're tuning into the low frequency, what will you get? All the things which are associated with the lower frequencies, right? That's where this happiness and stress lies. Yeah. अगर आप stuck हो low frequency में and you're always stressed, you are in lower frequencies and all you attract are all stressful things. It could be anger, irritation, shame, guilt, whatever emotions. Now let's flip it. Vaibhav, very happy guy. Irrespective whether winning or losing, he'll stay in his happiness. He doesn't want to, take alcohol. He's happy, high person, right? High frequency. You think happiness, always feel happiness, irrespective of the outcome. What are you staying in? You're dialing the FM channel of happiness. And what will you get?
Yeah,
happiness. So it's all about what you think and feel. And over a period of time, if the same emotions keep happening, you are stuck in lower frequencies and you are high in some frequencies. Mr. Suresh Badami, what you spoke about, high frequency guy.
Yeah.
Other XYZ people that I may know, I'm not commenting on
we
them.
may know together, yes. Yeah.
So they are low frequency guys.
Yeah.
So it's all about the frequency management. I hope this brings a good perspective.
Absolutely. The other thing which I have now, because now that you said there is a blood test which can tell us cortisol levels and everything, barring meditation and maybe staying relaxed and focused and things, now that we know that there are blood tests that cortisol can be detected from and the levels and everything, what are the 3 steps which you recommend someone to do?
Look,
to lower it down.
So it's very, very easy. I would say now I'm a sleep coach. In fact, we have the best insomnia reversal program in the world today.
Oh, wow.
Because insomnia is like doctors treated by medicines.
Yeah.
Psychiatrists treated by medicines.
Correct.
Psychologists will do good positive talk. Yeah. But then we've not seen very lasting results of these. Okay, people are not able to reverse insomnia. So in this entire language, which I spoke about,
right,
it's highly alert mind, which is in beta brainwaves,
right,
which is in turn releasing cortisol. Your body is alert, your mind is alert, and as a result of which you're not able to sleep. You are stuck in anxiety, stress, depression, and so on. Now, how to reverse this? If you have this, even if I give you a chamomile tea, where is the chamomile tea going? Inside your gut? What is it doing? Is it changing your mind? No. The answer is no. If I give you any ashwagandha or any kind of, those herbs, where are they going? They're going inside your body. Yeah. Is that changing your thinking pattern? Is that changing your hormones chemistry, the way you think and feel? The answer is no. So in this world, what we researched is the only science which can make you from a cortisol chemistry to a happy hormone chemistry, now that you've understood, move from stressful body to a happy hormones body, okay, it can only be done when you rewire it, okay. And how do you rewire it? Any guess? What has God given us without which you can't stay?
Heart.
You can't. These are organs.
Okay.
If someone dies, what do we call?
Consciousness.
No, if someone dies, what do we call? What do we say if someone dies?
My co-founder calls it nipat gaya. But
A better word of that is इनके प्राण निकल गए.
yes.
Okay, that's a popular word in Hindi.
Yes,
इनके प्राण निकल गए, प्राण ताक दिए, प्राण निकल गए.
life has left.
So pran is what? What is the English word for pran?
Please, you'll have to put something in. मेरे तो
A lot of
दिमाग में
people-
प्राण
a lot of people
is
say
the
oxygen.
actor. But yes.
When you stop breathing-
Okay, on a serious note, but I think when you, I think it's the, खैर मेरे पास तो बड़े non, you will have the right answer. मेरे तो consciousness
No.
and
So I'll tell you.
soul and वो आ रहे हैं.
So
but yes,
all of us breathe.
Yeah.
You know, all of us take a breath, which
Yeah.
is nothing but oxygen.
Yes.
But you know, there are people who are still on ventilators.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I was
breathing, right?
thinking, yeah.
But they're not thinking, feeling,
Yeah.
right?
But they're still alive.
They're still alive.
Yeah.
So what keeps us alive is when we can think and feel, and when we can breathe. It's called prana energy. Okay. Now prana energy is nothing but, you know, when you are taking your breath. Okay, you are basically thinking and feeling, and your body is vibrating. All your cells are vibrating. So the best, simplest thing is the power of breath. Okay. Have you seen, if let's say there is some dangerous situation, if a tiger is in front of you, will you breathe shallow or will you breathe very fast?
I think one would start panting and
One would start
feeling-
panting, right, like this. So what signals to your body that you are safe or you are in danger? It's the intensity of your breath.
Yeah, but that's when you're conscious.
Yeah. So if you can manipulate your breath,
Yes.
I'm just giving you an answer
Okay,
to
so
you.
you basically okay, got lost.
So-
I thought you were talking about being alive and dead, but yeah.
Yeah. Now I've moved on. So what keeps you alive is the prana energy.
Right.
And if you can control this prana energy, manipulate it in terms of slowing it down, okay, you can actually, you are improving the longitude of your mind body, you're improving your vitality and everything. So if you slow down your breath,
Yeah.
you don't stay in the alert nervous system.
Okay.
Okay, alert nervous system is where cortisol keeps flowing. So if you slow down your breath, okay, ever if someone has told you about do deep breathing, whenever you get angry, people say थोड़ी लंबी गहरी सांस ले लो, right?
पानी पी लो, 10 तक गिन लो, things
Yeah,
like that.
but लंबी गहरी सांस लो.
Correct.
You know, this is like a Ramban, okay, elixir for reducing stress. So when you slow down your breath, automatically you are signaling to your nervous system that everything is safe. Okay, and when your nervous system feels safe, it will stop releasing cortisol, and it will basically make you feel calm. And when you feel calm, you release happy hormones. Now, if your body stays in the same nervous system, the body starts following the same nervous system. So if we were to say Vaibhav Kajju, you know, his nervous system, if he stays calm and he's not bothered about, you know, small or, you know, these things in life, then your nervous system has learned to stay calm in all kinds of situations rather than getting hyper. And a lot of people, as you rightly told, even if something was to happen, they'll become hyper. They'll start becoming angry, they'll start shouting. Their nervous system is always alert. The nervous system is on a lookout for if something was to happen, they were to release anger, release cortisol. Now you get it? That's how it is.
Oh, very deep and profound.
It's very simple. So
What happens, sorry, because I'm thinking about it and I want to continue with the thought.
Yeah.
What happens when one is sleeping? Does the cortisol still get released or has it got paused?
So if you are sleeping, okay,
Yeah.
what if people don't sleep? Which means their body is stuck in alert mode. Their body is loving cortisol, and the body is alert, and the alert body is making your mind alert. Alert mind and body, you can't sleep. This you got,
Yes.
right? Now let's take a person when the person is sleeping like a baby.
Yeah.
Sleeping like a baby is deep sleep. Okay. In
Not
deep sleep,
REM or not light sleep, but deep sleep.
yeah. So sleep is a combination of REM, which is called the dream sleep, and non-REM is defined in stage 1 to 3.
Okay.
Light sleep, deepest sleep, right? So when you go to the deepest sleep, you travel from your beta brain waves
Yeah.
to alpha to theta. Theta is where you start sleeping. And from theta, when you move to delta brain waves, which is like a very slow brain wave, you go into deep sleep. Now, when you go into deep sleep, your body starts repairing. Your hormones, they start balancing, right? And that's the moment your body is zero cortisol. Okay? You are sleeping deep, the body is absolutely calm, it's absolutely calm, and it will not crave the mind to be alert, which means alert mind means cortisol chemistry, right? So when your body is absolutely calm, it goes into the repair mode. Have you ever felt if you've just slept for 3 hours, next day you are very groggy, next day you're not feeling good, or most of the people if you have not felt it. And some people who sleep for 7 to 8 hours non-stop, they wake up like a giant, right? With a very happy feeling, no headache and all. So if you've had a deep sleep, you'll wake up always very, very fresh, very energized. And if you're feeling very energized, where is stress? You'll never be stressful. So in sleep, if you're sleeping deep, then you are releasing happy hormones and your body is absolutely calm.
So interesting. Is sleep, and I've met a few people where we have had a discussion on sleep. Sleep, I think, is the most important thing which most of the people miss out. People think about alcohol, smoking, what they eat, how much do they run, how much do they walk. But I think sleep is the most important factor when it comes to being healthy and a long life.
Tell me how many hours are in a day?
24?
1/3 of it is how much?
8?
So typically, if you see, God has designed a day of 24 hours and 1/3 of it is meant for sleeping. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That's a time. So something must be happening in this 1/3 of every day, or for that matter, every life.
Yeah.
Sleep is nothing but it's called the inner pharmacy. So if you're sleeping for 8 hours,
Yeah.
okay, and out of those 8 hours, 2 hours to 2.5 hours are deep sleep,
Yeah.
you are disease free and nothing can happen to you. Of course, we eat bad food sometimes and all, that's, but if you are sleeping very well,
Yeah.
you're automatically repairing your body. You're setting your body in factory settings every night. And that's what sleep is. But unfortunately, these days, everyone talks about when you go to a doctor, most of the times, doctor says, पेट कैसा है, doctor says, ये कैसा है, वो कैसा है, lifestyle कैसा है. But hardly anyone is talking about sleep. But the most intelligent doctors these days, or the older doctors, they talk about how good are you sleeping.
Correct.
Because your diseases, your mental wellness, everything lies in sleep. In fact, sexual wellness is now all about sleep.
In fact, I'll give a shout out to one of my friends, Dr. Sameer. He was on the podcast also. उससे जब भी मैं मिलता हूँ या उसके OPD में बैठा होता हूँ, पेशेंट्स आते हैं, one of the first and most important question he asks is, कल कैसे सोए and how's your sleep and is your sleep disturbed or not? I think now that you have said, I understand why he was asking. Otherwise, I used to think it's quite an intrusive question कि कोई आपके रूम में घुसे और सब पहले कल कैसे सोए. तो
So can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Whenever I have not been feeling very well, or anyone doesn't feel very well, have you ever seen a boss asking you, how much did you sleep last night? If you're not able to achieve your targets, if you're not feeling fresh, you're angry, you're lost, has someone asked you that how well did you sleep last night?
Corporate life, and you would have had such bosses usually उल्टा पूछते थे कि सो कैसे पाए.
Correct.
नींद आ गई तुम्हारे को.
Incidentally, today, the kind of people that I get are those bosses and those employees. In fact, in my workshops, I have seen a boss coming in and an employee coming in. There's a confluence of people because boss's sleep is also disturbed and the employee's sleep is also disturbed. So no one has been talking about sleep, but sleep is that reset. If you sleep very well, your mind is innovative, your mind is fresh, your mind entirely detoxifies, and you are set for the best of your performance the next day. Your productivity shoots up. But unfortunately, it's not a spoken subject in the country right now.
So 8 hours of sleep or close to whatever one can manage, so that is important. Cortisol gets paused when you're in deep sleep. You need a nice baby-like sleep. All these points are important, but I want to ask this question also because you're a sleep expert. Let's say somebody is sleeping at 10 o'clock in the night and waking up at 6. And there's another person who's sleeping at 1 o'clock in the night and waking up at 9. Both have got an 8-hour sleep. Is there a difference for a body?
Excellent question. So look, our bodies are designed not as per 2025.
Just Aparna, listen to this.
Where there is Netflix, there is Arnab Goswami shouting.
Yes.
Our bodies were designed when? Billions of years back, or I don't know, thousands of years back, right? 20,000 years back or whatever, right?
Yeah.
At that point of time, what was there? There was no television, there was no office. And let's go to our...
There was no electricity.
Let's go to our cave life.
Yeah.
All of us believe that we were early men.
Yeah.
What was the danger which was there? the only danger was a predator spotting me and eating me up.
Correct.
There was no danger of overthinking. I mean, there was no stress in life, right?
Yeah.
So we have our bodies from then. Now, the way our bodies are designed to wake up with the sun. Okay, as the sun rises at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and with the moon coming in. So with moon setting on and sun setting off, we've got to sleep and we've got to wake up as the sun rises. So that's how our life is. Now, anyone who's sleeping, 10 p.m. is today still kind of aspirational thing. Many people are only able to sleep at midnight, but we are supposed to sleep at around 9 p.m. because at 9 p.m. your melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, is highest. Okay, after 9 p.m. your melatonin production it starts decreasing, and it's somewhere at 2 a.m. in the morning your body stops producing melatonin. Now, melatonin is a promoter of sleep. It's the hormone which makes you sleep. Okay. Makes you go into deep sleep and makes you enjoy sleep. And unfortunately or fortunately, deep sleep, which I just told you, the 2 hours deep sleep, it doesn't come uniform. It comes in bits and pieces.
Absolutely.
As per the sleep cycle, right?
Exactly.
So it only comes between 9 p.m. to maybe 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. So technically, if you've not slept by 10 p.m. and if you're sleeping by 1 a.m. or 12 in the midnight, you lose at least 1 hour of deep sleep. And if you lose 1 hour of deep sleep, your body doesn't repair, your kidneys don't repair, your lungs aren't functioning the best, your heart. Can you stop your heartbeat? You can still stop your breath for 1 minute.
Heartbeat is
you can't stop.
Yeah.
When the heart rests, when your heart rate is the lowest,
deep sleep.
Only in deep sleep. It goes to 50, 45 beats per minute, 40 beats per minute. That's the only time when your heart is taking a break. Otherwise, throughout the day, the heart is beating at 70, 80, 90. If you're exercising 100, if you're a marathoner, 140, 150, right? Your heart only rests at midnight, okay, when you are in deep sleep. So now the answer to your question is, even if you sleep for 8 hours, which is a misnomer. A lot of people say कि मैं weekend में sleep इतनी पूरी कर दूंगा, पूरे दिन सोते हैं.
हाँ, ये भी कई लोगों का
है. Okay, तो वहाँ पे sleep नहीं होती है. That is a superficial sleep. Your sleep happens only between 10 p.m. to maximum 4 a.m., 5 a.m. because after that there is a concept of Brahma Muhurat, right? Okay. If you've heard about, right?
Abhay has heard it. Abhay is the expert in it. Okay. But yeah.
So Brahma Muhurat means the sun starts rising at 4 a.m. And from that point of time, the cortisol starts rising because sun wants us to work, want to become alert. So there's a natural cortisol spike. But the deep sleep only happens between 10 p.m. or let's say 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And if you miss this cycle, fully, then you're not repairing your body fully.
Oh, very interesting.
So not the quantity of sleep, but the quality of sleep.
This actually reminds me from an insurance perspective, a very interesting thing. Buying term plan at 25 or buying term plan at 35 or 45 till the age of 60 or 70, whatever you're taking, we also see, the right time to buy insurance is when you're younger because you get locked at a premium and you are also an expert in it for a very long time. So if you're, let's say, 25 today and you're paying 10,000 rupees for a sum assured, whatever sum assured, by the time you reach 35, either for the same sum assured, this 10,000 will become 20, 25,000, or for 10,000 you'll get half kind of a cover. Similarly, if you reach 45 and you think now I'll more prone to death, so let me buy, this 10,000 has actually become around 70, 80,000 rupees.
Absolutely.
So it's not only about sleeping 8 hours or buying the right insurance, if I may say, but it's also about buying at the right time or sleeping at the right time.
100%. In fact, I'm very happy that Vaibhav, you picked up a project of educating people very well and telling them how much cover do they require, what company should they go for, and what is good underwriting and so on. But I have an additional dimension to this question. Please. And this additional dimension is that now we are no longer living in the past 20 years world wherein things were predictable.
Correct.
Every week.
Yeah.
See the global crisis, see the Indian crisis, see the cloudburst. Every week is so unpredictable, not in just India, but in every country, right? So we can't be thinking that, okay, I will start earning better, then I will take an insurance, right? And everyone is improving their lifestyle. Everyone wants the best of lifestyle. Everyone is voting because of buy now, pay later, good lifestyle. So when a lifestyle is moving up, I mean, if you're not there, who will take care of the lifestyle, right? And because of this uncertainty and we becoming so vulnerable, I think the most important thing is the first thing that one should go for is not an iPhone, but actually going in for a term plan. And it should be a term plan with which you sleep peacefully. That, okay, God forbid something happens to me, then, my life, at least will be worth helping my family, go for a 10-year kind of a lifestyle, they can afford some expenses and so on. So I think more than, buying the right amount, which is important, I think timing is now becoming important because we are in a very unpredictable phase of life.
Absolutely.
And we just need to be insured, if we love our families very well.
So post-COVID, at least a large population has seen unpredictability. Even if you look at the global crisis, if you miss the news for a day, world has changed.
Absolutely.
Mr. Trump picks up Venezuelan guy, calls Greenland पे अगर तुम पहले ship लेके आ गए तो आपका नहीं है. Iran, there is another crisis happening. Bangladesh में something is happening. India luckily is still a stable country, but ultimately everything impacts the world today.
Correct.
So one has to be very importantly covered. Along with term, I also recommend very strongly the health insurance. And I'm very happy you had a 1.5 crore cover and you have just taken our super top up of 5 crores. What is also important, Amol, is actually you are the second person I've met till now who has got a 1.5 CR cover and has taken a super top up. Most of the people in the country have got a 5, 10, 15, 20 lakh kind of a cover, which may be decent today, but is absolutely irrelevant in 2035 or 2040. So it's super important to plan for future today. I take this example, and you are still in Bombay. I have lived in Bombay. 2005 is the time when I bought my house in Bombay. You've come to my house in Bombay. It's a 3 BHK there. 2005 when I bought a 3 BHK in Nahar, most of the people in my office were cracking jokes about me कि बच्चा है, बैचलर है, 3 बेडरूम का क्या करेगा, कूद के कभी इधर सोएगा, कभी इधर सोएगा. मैंने कहा नहीं, फ्यूचर में मैं नहीं खरीद पाऊंगा. Today I can afford. Real estate prices are going to move up. Whatever you're getting, best stretch your legs, stretch. जैसे चादर में जितने पाँव फैला सकते हो फैला के maximum तक जाओ, because tomorrow affordability, you have no idea how it will go. So I think same is the case of insurance. You have to plan for future and not of 2026 alone. So those were my thoughts when I was looking at buying. In fact, I made sure a lot of my friends are about covered the right way when I look at not 2026 but 2050.
No, I think fantastic point, and somewhere, I always get confused with this thought. Term insurance is more important. I mean, of course, you've got to have both.
Yeah.
But would your priority be term insurance or should your priority be higher health insurance? Because money is limited, right? Premium capacity is limited.
Absolutely.
But in today's world, both these things are so important. We already spoke about term. That term is like that bullet, big amount. If God forbid something happens, then where will your family go? How will you pay off your home loan? And people are living their lives on home loans and various loans.
Exactly.
Right? But in health insurance, Vaibhav, I personally face this problem. While I was adequately covered and I was paying a very high premium, but then, okay, I mean, the health was good. But I felt that a lot of us have parents, right? And somewhere we feel that nothing will happen to our parents.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take the parental example.
Correct.
Now, as your parents age, and as their health deteriorates, one fine day comes in, then, God forbid some event happens, you are stuck in the hospital, and if let's say that's a longest stay, then a 5 lakh, 10 lakh cover, what would it do? You go to Max hospitals, Fortis hospitals, and all the private hospitals, hardly you can suffice for, because you want to offer the best of health, a single room, you don't want to settle down in a dormitory, or you don't want to settle down in a 4-bedded room. And with the room comes in the doctor's fees, all those medicines, everything. And if you're stuck, few days of ICU will burn it all.
Absolutely.
Okay. And let's say if you've just got a 10, 15, 20 lakh cover and the illness repeats itself, you can just cover only a couple of episodes in a year. Okay. And that's where the challenge happens. Now, once you cover it, if then you want to increase it, the insurance company says, no boss, we can't do it because you're already a substandard life. Your mobility is high. So my thing is that once and for all, if you've got to really take a good decision and see, where India is, so much of pollution, so much of health hazards. And if you have, let's say, older parents, then you've got to really take the best of coverage, because best of the coverage can only come in at a reasonable price today. If you go to buy after 3 years, 4 years, knowing that I have some problem now and I should buy it, maybe the insurance companies may term you as uninsurable, beyond a particular point. So very good point. You need to really go for the best of coverage.
Absolutely.
And again, the best of point is, of course, हम सब लोगों का मन चंचल है, मचलता है, रखे नया आईफोन आया तो मन करता है खरीदने का. But I think the first stock that you should take, before buying a white good, planning a vacation is cover yourself very well. Because that itself will give you that mental peace. The rest other things you'll be able to manage. This thing you can't manage.
You don't have a decent cover. If you don't have a decent cover, your cortisols will be through the roof.
Of course.
So I think to have that peaceful sleep, like you're saying, insurance is a must. Two things I'll just say before we close, and exactly what you were saying. One is the substandard life which you're talking of parents. I, as a founder, talk to a lot, and today you saw the number of customers I'm talking to. You were scared. The CEO या call center चला रहे हो.
Right.
So, but yes, I get so many calls of people in their 30s who have already got hypertension, who have got diabetes. The kind of things which we think about our parents have actually got into the young 30s and maybe late 20s also because of the sedimentary lifestyle, people waking up or rather staying awake till 4 o'clock, ordering on Zomato at 2 o'clock in the night. So everything has gone through the roof in that. Two, I don't want to disclose which company, but one of the health insurance companies we are working with, or rather a general insurance company we are doing health insurance for, already rates your premium 25% above if you are a list of those 20 cities where pollution is high.
Wow.
So if you're, let's say, staying in Noida or in Gurgaon versus, let's say, you're staying in Bombay. So I know a lot of health insurance companies have got a A, B, C category where metros, because medical expenses are higher, versus Jodhpur where medical expenses are lower, there's a premium gap. But this company, because of the data they have, and this is the first company we know of, a lot of others will rate up. So this company rates up your premium by 25% if you are amongst those cities, because they know today you are okay. But within 5 years, your lungs and your body parts and everything would go off because of the pollution you're breathing in.
No, absolutely. And I'm surprised that, and I mean, it's very well thought by this insurance company because the writing is there on the wall.
Yeah.
It's like तूफान आने से पहले हवा चलती है ना. So that तूफान which we might face in times to come, because no one is caring about pollution in the country. There's madness construction going on, and all of us know what kind of pollution levels that we have even in Jodhpur. And Jodhpur is not very far from Mumbai and all, right?
Right.
So today, I think beat any city. Every city in India is polluted. And look, how health insurance becomes important, because you spoke about sleep. Now, sleep is an epidemic today. We've seen COVID, which was a pandemic. Sleep is an epidemic, and what you told me is all a manifestation of not sleeping very well, where people are hypertensive, they are becoming diabetic, menstrual health of women is going off, people are becoming, people are aging early. So all this is happening because of sleep. Now, insurance companies are not taking control, because they can't get into your bedroom and check how well you've slept. But they've now started pricing all these, things like, pollution and all. So all the more that because of this lifestyle, stress in office, maybe for whatever reasons you're unable to sleep, which will play some point of time with your health, it's very important to at least keep one variable as constant, which is good insurance. And I think we're doing a wonderful job, and keep educating people so that they buy at least the optimal cover for themselves.
Yeah. In fact, NCR, if you're living even if you're a non-smoker like me and you, you're smoking 40 cigarettes. That's the average kind of a pollution that you breathe in. It's epidemic, pandemic, disaster, whatever you may call. But the pollution levels are horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't help it. I mean, how many air purifiers will you keep?
And where all will you keep?
Where will all you keep? And air purifier is only good for a room like this.
Correct.
But if you're going out, or if you open up your window, you can't carry an air purifier, right? So the only thing that you can do is, improve your resilience, be less stressed, so that at least somewhere, your immunity levels are up there, and it helps you, at least cope up with this pollution.
Absolutely. Done. Thank you for your time, and best of luck for everything.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Lovely speaking to you again.
My pleasure. Thanks. Bye.